Can you put us online, please? We on?
Tom,
Okay.
we're going live.
I'm calling the meeting to order. Do we have any public comment?
No public comments.
We have no public comment, so we will go into closed session to discuss real property negotiations, personnel negotiation, potential or pending litigation, and conference with labor negotiators. So we're going to closed session. Okay, thanks, Tom. Okay, Chief, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and then stand for the invocation, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. My name is Pastor Mark Van Dyke of Ammon Valley Christian Reformed Church, just 2 blocks south of where we are right now. And let's bow our heads in prayer. Oh Lord God, you are a faithful God through every generation, caring for all that you have made. We thank you for this town of Ripon that you have cared for in so many amazing ways in previous days and weeks, years, and even generations. Thank you that this is a town where we enjoy so much peace and prosperity. Lord, we pray that you would guide the deliberations that occur this evening, that you would particularly keep in your hands first responders in their difficult line of work. God, we pray that you would be glorified in all that happens in this city. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Dean Euchre. We are working with him on some technical difficulties. Gary Barton.
Present.
Daniel DeGraff.
Here.
Vice Mayor Leo Zuber.
Here.
Mayor Mike Restuccia.
Present. Public discussion. This is the time anybody in the audience has something to bring up that's not on the agenda. If it's on the agenda, we'll get to it. But if it's not on the agenda, you want to speak, please come up to the mic, state your name and address, and tell us what you want to talk to us about. But you need to come, okay, let me say it again. Please come up to the mic.
Something on the agenda.
Oh, you want to talk about something on the agenda? Perfect, thank you. So when we get to that item, let me know and we'll make sure that you, okay. Anybody else? Public comment? Okay. Approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of August 8th, and let's do the special meeting of August 28th as well.
Can we do it separate? Because I was not there.
Oh, we'll do them we want to do them separate, Daniel. So let's do August 8th first. The regular meeting.
I'll move to approve. Second that.
Okay. Now we're going to go to August 28th.
That passed 4-0.
It did.
It's still up for some reason.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to reset. Do you need to reset? Let's just do a voice call. Special meeting of August 28th.
I'll move to approve.
We have a motion.
Second.
Is Dean back yet?
I'm going to abstain because I was not there.
Well, he's not there yet. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Daniel abstaining. Motion passes 3. Whatever that other number is. Approval of the agenda as posted as amended.
Is it amended?
Yes.
Posted amended?
I have 3 items to pull from the consent calendar.
Okay.
1.3A, 1.4C, and 1.4E.
Okay. You're good with that, Gary?
I am.
Okay. And then I'm going to pull one. It because I'm a paid director at Bank of Stockton, so I'm going to leave the room when that comes up. So with those pulled, do we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented, as amended?
So moved.
Second. Oh, now we're back to the thing again?
As long as it's working. Okay, 1, 2. Did you get on there, Gary?
No, it doesn't. It hadn't taken the vote.
I hit yes.
I see Daniel, I see Leo. I see me as a yes. I don't see Gary on there.
Still says votes in progress. 4 of 5 votes. It's waiting on
It's
Dean
waiting on
is
Dean,
why.
I think.
It says I voted yes.
Oh, yours says that? Okay, mine doesn't show that.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, there we go, good.
Okay.
Okay, then approval of the consent calendar is amended?
Mr. Mayor,
What?
the gentleman in the back, what is his item he wants to make a comment on?
Oh, yeah, good point. What item did you want to talk about? 1.4B.
Might as well let him do it. Then.
Okay, so we'll pull 1.4B as well.
Okay.
Okay, so with those pulled, we'll get you up in a minute. With those pulled,
I'll
approval of
move to approve the consent calendar as amended.
Second.
hold on, okay.
Do we need to re-motion, accept the agenda?
Dean
We
is
did.
on, so we can do a roll call vote on the consent calendar.
We just did it.
But Dean is on, Dean is
Do a
part of the
roll call,
meeting.
he can
Okay,
chime in.
so we need to do a roll call on the agenda and the consent calendar?
I think he just joined us for the consent calendar, so I think that would. we could
Okay,
start
so
there.
do we have a motion to approve the consent calendar
As amended.
as amended? We need a motion,
Yes,
we
by
gotta do it
Leo and
again.
Gary.
We got to do it again.
So are you gonna do a roll
Okay,
call?
roll
Yep.
call, please.
We're not gonna be able to hear
He's
this.
disconnected. Never mind, he's disconnected.
Okay, carry on with the vote we have.
Okay, so we
Motion
have a
passes
vote.
4-0.
Yeah,
Meeting
there we go.
adjourned.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go in order, so we're gonna do 1.2A,
No.
1 point.
You're
That's,
first.
the- that's what I'm
Leo.
pulling, that's the one that
Oh.
Vice Mayor Zuber said, I'm leaving my phone here and I'm walking.
All right, what's your password?
All right, anybody with any comments on 1.2A?
I'll make a motion to approve 1.2A.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are we doing this thing or are you doing a roll call? This thing? Okay. Gary, you have to second it.
Thank you.
So that one passes 3-0, right?
Yep.
All right.
And one absent. We'll get him for the next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. Here you go.
I'm gonna be interested in the minute.
Boy, no kidding. Okay, now we'll go to 1.3A. Leo?
Oh, sure. I just had a couple of questions. As I understand it, this is adjustment or wage thing and is not for a new position. It's existing sergeants are gonna roll through it?
Yes, that is correct. It's going to be a temporary position. Each current sergeant will rotate through an administrative sergeant position for a period of time selected by Chief Select Sauer. At that point in time, after all the sergeants have had an opportunity to take on additional duties and responsibilities of a lieutenant position, he'll make a decision on whether or not to move forward with the filling of the lieutenant position or choose a different option.
Okay. Is the position only gonna be during daytime hours or is it gonna roll so that there's somebody doing it 24 hours or, does that make sense? I mean, I'm just trying to get an idea of how it's gonna work.
Yeah, so there'll be one sergeant assigned to that position at one time, so we don't lose the other three patrol supervisors coverage. So the administrative sergeant position will de facto take over the current schedule for the lieutenant, which is a 980 Monday through Friday and Monday through Thursday 1 week. And the hours will be set by Chief Select Sauer at that point in time, which is traditionally from 7 to 5 p.m. And after hours, they'll be available, but they'll be on call. And it'll be an additional on call. So he'll be available 24 hours, but he won't be technically on shift for a 24-hour period.
All right, thank you. Answers my questions.
Why don't we just
Do we
take
want
all?
to do them as we go?
Yeah.
Then I'll make a motion to approve item 1.3A.
Okay,
Second.
oh, we need to do a roll
Do a
call?
roll call?
Thought you said-
We're individually now,
Okay.
we're halfway through.
Yeah.
Councilmember Euchre? Barton?
Yes.
DeGraff?
Yes.
Zuber?
Yes.
Verstutia?
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
okay, 1.4C. What, yeah, let's do yours first. and then
Okay.
we'll Move up.
Wasn't he next?
Yeah, but let's do
Oh,
yours.
all right.
first.
This is the solid waste disposal. As I read the staff report, then there is no change to the current garbage program that operates in the city. All this is because we're sending it to somebody else, there's gonna be an increase in costs.
Correct.
Okay. And will it result in a increase in fees?
Well, yeah,
I mean, for the residents, will my garbage rates go up?
it will. And looking at the overall tipping fee increases, which is what this is gonna equate to, we're looking at around $240,000 to $260,000 a year, based on, the last couple of years' previous split of our solid waste. So going to Jilton's facility now, we'll have that increase, and then, yes, that would be realized. We'll go over that in a little more detail at the end of the year with our utility rate study. But it's looking at about a 12% increase just on the tipping fee.
Well, that was gonna be my last question. So it'll be included in that annual thing we get from the consultant about what our rate should be for the following year.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
it'll go-
But that was cheaper than it did another can, so you went with the
Correct.
cheaper route.
Sure, yeah.
Based on the law that was passed down from Sacramento that shoved it down us, we had to do one or the other, and you took the cheaper price, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the only way we really would have been able to get away from going to one of these high diversion facilities is getting the 3 cans. So even if we did implement 2 full cans, mandatory 2-can system with the green and the black, we still had to go to a high diversion facility like
Right.
Jilton's. So yeah, this route is.
So there's no change to the way the garbage is collected, nothing. It's just that because we're having to handle it differently,
Yes.
costs are going up.
Yes, and we're still,
Okay.
we're still meeting the requirements of Cal Recycle. Jilton's facility, they're able to capture everything they need to capture, at their facility. It's all sorted and then it's sent to the correct facilities, just in a different way than us doing it at
Okay.
at the can.
Thank you.
And James, the Jilton rate per ton is $115. You mentioned in your staff report, and that compares to our current.
We're right around 70. I'm not sure if it's 70 or 72 at the
Yeah,
moment. It's
okay.
been going up annually, but that's the Lovelace facility where we're currently taking, at the county, where we're currently taking our.
And so that difference of 40 some dollars, is it additional transportation primarily, or what do you?
It's mainly our tipping fees, yeah.
Yep, okay.
So,
And Kevin, so this is a state mandated program, and just remind me, how much is the state going to be reimbursing the city of Ripon for the additional $200,000+ that will be imposed on us per year?
There's no reimbursement. So
There's no reimbursement. Huh.
So you didn't hear when I said shove it down our throat? Alex, don't bring up the voting anymore. We're gonna do it by hand, by voice. Thank you. Okay, so, do we have approval for that?
Yeah, I'll move to approve 1.4C.
We have a motion second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Euchre? Barton?
Yes.
DeGraff?
Yes.
Zuber?
Yes.
Verstutia?
Yes, we'll go to
Motion passes
1.4 E, and then we'll have you come up on the next item.
Well, I really only had 2 questions. Number 1, what does MID plan to do with 2 4-inch conduits that weren't there before?
So this is where they're going to pull the primary power from their facilities to our transformer on site. So the 4-inch conduit was their standards, but that's where they'll pull the primary power that's going to the corporation yard.
So when the plans were drawn up, there was nothing included for how we were gonna get power to the place?
Right.
Okay.
I think they assumed that MID was gonna put in the conduit and pull the wire through their process. But they don't. We put in the conduit and they pull the wire.
The architect must have been somebody that doesn't live in MID's territory.
They thought we were gonna go solar.
My other question is, what is the effect of this? This is like the fifth change order, the effect that it's had on the contingency for the project.
Yeah, so we did put about $1.1 million aside, if I remember correctly. So if this change order was approved by council, we would have about $914,000 remaining. So that's about 18% that we've used, and then 26% of the project is complete. So
All right, I have no more questions.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Motion,
Second.
second, discussion, roll call, please.
Councilmember Euchre. Barton,
Yes.
DeGraff,
Yes.
Zuber,
Yes.
Verstutia.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
okay. 1.4B, please. Why don't we do a staff, you want to do a staff report first? Or do you want them to just go ahead and go? Okay, all right, that's fine. I'm just giving you the option. Just trying to be nice. I know. Okay.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council members. My name is Michael Muska, 20-year resident of Ripon. Just would like to hear some discussion on the one-year extension of the Meadowwood development. It's a significant development at both size and location. I just would like to know the reasons for the extension, what factors were considered. Is it the rising interest rates, cost of utilities, cost of construction? As I mentioned, it's a significant development in size and the location in the city. So everybody drives by it, at least once a week, if not daily, and just kind of wondered what's going on and why the extension. So that's my question: is what are the reasons and what was the discussion that was ensued about that one-year extension? That's it. I'll sit down and listen to your answers.
Who wants to answer that? There you go. Thank you.
As council might remember, last year, I think we did a development agreement amendment. Typically, our development agreements would include language that they have about 3 years to get the project moving from a development standpoint. That means starting to turn dirt, putting the project in. If the current or the old development agreements had a 1-year extension into that, so they would essentially give them 4 years if the council granted that 1-year extension. What we've seen now with like a lot of the development projects, they tend to take a little bit longer to get moving with a lot of the new regulations and such. There has been some difficulties in this project, obviously, with interest rates, infrastructure costs. Developers have been actively trying to find builders for the project, and that's the reasoning they're asking for this 1-year extension. The amendment that we did approve last year for the project gave them up to 5 years to get the project moving. And then they have an option to ask for 5 1-year extensions because our development agreements are a 10-year agreement. Those 5 1-year extensions are at the full discretion of the city council. At any time, they can refuse to approve an extension or not. So or approve it or not. So that's up to the council. Like I said, someone is here from the developer. If you might have a little more insight onto what's taken so long to kind of get the project moving from their end. But that's kind of the gist of the city's portion of it.
Okay, thanks. Would you like to come up and just say a few words and help answer the question?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is Joshua Mann. I'm with Mid-Valley Engineering, and we represent the property owners or the developer of this project. As Director Zeidevart mentioned, there's been a kind of a series of issues, even kind of goes into COVID. We had some delays with COVID. Up until 2019, we were working with a builder, and we thought it was very favorable, would have built a very nice project, and then COVID hit and kind of killed that momentum, I guess. Subsequently, we ran into some material cost increases, and we've just been looking at ways to kind of lessen it and make the project viable. If you remember, there's a big offsite infrastructure cost with undergrounding the canal. And that's kind of been the, I guess, the elephant in the room for this project. But with that being said, we are currently working with a national builder. Again, that would do a very high quality development. It's looking very favorable at this point, and we're just asking for a little more time to kind of get over the finish line.
Okay.
I don't know if you have any specific questions, but I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions? No, that explains it. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
We need a motion on that.
Yeah, we do.
I'll move to approve the, item 1 point, what is it, 4B?
4B.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Euchre. Barton.
Yes.
DeGraff.
Yes.
Zuber.
Yes.
Restucia.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, 2.0, excuse me, and number 2, ordinance. This ordinance amends chapter 5.40 licensing and regulations of special events of the Ripon Municipal Code that addresses application eligibility along with various text cleanups, updates. This is the second reading and adoption.
I'll move to approve the ordinance.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I'm approving the second reading. Am I waiving it?
Waiving the second reading.
And
adopt the
adopting.
ordinance.
You're making Lisa read.
You, I'm waiting for a longer one before I do that. That's my motion.
Motion to waive the second reading and adopt the ordinance.
Second.
We have a second. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Euchre. Barton.
Yes.
DeGraff.
Yes.
Zuber.
Yes.
Restucia.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, 3.0. What's that? City of Ripon Poet Laureate Program. If the city council is interested in moving forward with the city Poet Laureate Program from the Library and Literacy Foundation of San Joaquin County, authorized staff to prepare an agreement with the foundation to receive grant funding and move forward with the City Poet Laureate Program. Let me just mention the CEO is here tonight if we have some questions for Moses Sapien, but we'll start out with Kevin, right?
Yep. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Myself and Mayor Restucia met with Moses Zapien from the Library and Literacy Foundation of San Joaquin County. They have brought forward an opportunity to receive a 3-year grant in the amount of $15,000 if the city would like to pursue a Poet Laureate program. They are offering this to all the cities in San Joaquin County, and so far there's a couple that have begun the process of moving forward with that. The staff report does talk about the what would be required each year as part of this program if we were to do that. And from staff's perspective, there's really 3 areas of direction that we're looking to get. Number one is if the city council is interested in moving forward with the city Poet Laureate grant program, authorize staff to move forward with the foundation on an agreement. And number 2, maybe the biggest question is, what is that process to select a Poet Laureate? There's a lot of options you have. The staff report does suggest using the city's Recreation Commission, but that's not required. If the council has another desire of how to select a Poet Laureate, we could have that discussion. And then lastly, there's some options with the grant funding. As I mentioned, the $15,000 is for a 3-year period. That could all go towards the city Poet Laureate, or it could offset some of the administrative responsibilities of either the city or, I believe, whatever group kind of takes this on if they choose to do that. So I know I was really brief with that. Mr. Zapien, I don't know if you want to add anything. It's a very interesting program. I think Mayor Restucia and I both learned a lot hearing about it. So,
Did you want to say anything, Moses, if you don't mind? I know Daniel's been volunteering, but we're trying to hold him back, giving other people an opportunity to do it, actually do it.
I don't believe that's what I said.
Yeah, I'm sure, but we can't get it public.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Moses Apien, CEO of the San Joaquin Community Foundation and Treasurer of the Library and Literacy Foundation for San Joaquin. I'm very delighted to be here in support of Kevin's staff reports to the City Council. We're delighted to be able to provide this opportunity to all cities in San Joaquin County. We're delighted to be able to provide it specifically to Ripon, as this is a northern part of the county which we have yet to be able to establish such a program. Happy to answer any questions you may have. This funding is flexible and can be used however way the City Council desires in support of the program.
Most the only question I had, because I know you told us the other day, but I forget. Which cities do you not yet have? Us?
The city of Ripon, Escalon, and Lathrop.
Okay.
All the other cities have either instituted a City Poet Laureate program or have taken advantage and in the process of establishing one through the Library and Literacy Foundation of San Joaquin.
I have a couple things.
Sure.
One, I'm wondering if we shouldn't broaden the composition of whatever the committee is that is going to identify the person, make the selection or whatever. I have nothing against the Recreation Commission, but if they're going to be working with the schools, maybe somebody from the schools could be in there.
Arts League?
I had somebody else.
The Chamber of Commerce?
Well, possibly, but, and I noticed in the staff report, it references Ripon Unified School District. We don't want to forget Ripon Christian, you know, so that they, and maybe somebody from there be involved. But just a bigger pool of people, I wouldn't know how to go about doing it. And possibly somebody from their organization could sit in in the process too, so that we don't wander too far off track as they're doing it. I think it's a good idea, but the more people are involved, I think the better shot we have at getting somebody that A, wants to do it, and B, can do it. My other question had to do with the financing. As I understand it, it's $15,000 for 3 years that somehow we decide what we're going to do with it. That $2,000 you mentioned for administrative costs, were you envisioning that that would come out of the 15,000, which would then reduce it to 13,000?
Yeah, that was just really the fiscal impact for staff to work through the agreement and, you know, set up some of the basic functions of this. I wasn't actually proposing that we take it out of the $15,000 to do that. It was an option if the council wanted to do that.
Well, because I agree, because I'd like to get the person in here, the people that have an idea of what they'd like to see, and figure out where that 15,000 would do the most good. And if it means we have to, subsidize our part of the involvement, I'd rather know that that is necessary for it to work rather than right off the top.
Yeah, and overall, actually, Mr. Zapien made it very easy for staff, so that's why the minimal cost. He pretty much did our job for us, so we appreciate that.
That's all I have.
Good points. Is that 15,000 written up front, and it's essentially 5,000 a year, right? Or do you write a check 5,000 each year?
The foundation would provide all 15,000 upfront.
Okay, and we commit to a 3-year program.
Correct.
The other question that came up was, what happens in 3 years? You're going to test and see if the program's successful, and you may continue it, or if it's not, drop it, correct?
Correct. We will check in with each city, and if each city so desire to continue the program, I think the board of directors would look favorably upon continuing to provide funding. The Library and Literacy Foundation has approximately $2 million in assets, so it's a fairly sustainable program from our perspective.
Yeah. Good, thanks.
I would just echo Leo's comments on the people who would need to be involved. And I think it makes more sense to have, language arts department from the school involved versus recreation department. Maybe it's not a it can be a recreational activity, I suppose, but it's more than that. It's an art, right?
Yeah, right.
And ultimately, I hope there's some oversight in the kind of material that is being produced from this. If it's a free-for-all, and it devolves into an opportunity for people to tell us how terrible a place Ripon is, California is, the United States, I'm not really interested in that. So hopefully that's a component of the group that organizes this and provides direction.
Yeah. So that eliminates Dan. Yeah, good point.
So do you need, at this point, do you need a motion to proceed or just take direction and go for it?
No, I think we got their direction. I just wanted to be clear though, about the selection process. It sounds like the council wants a group to come back and make a recommendation on the poet laureate to the council. Doesn't sound like council members want to specifically be on that committee. I just wanted to make sure I got that right.
I'm afraid I'd hold them back.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay. I think we're good with direction on that. We'll work with the foundation on the agreement, and we'll work on the selection committee and bring something forward.
Good.
Good, sounds good.
Thank Moses, thank you. Appreciate it. Amona says hello. Thanks for coming down from Stockton, Moses. Appreciate it. Okay. You got the direction on that. Reports. I'm going to start out with Chief.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Honorable City Council. I just have one item tonight. I wanted to take a quick moment to publicly thank the council for your care and dedication to our community, and appreciate the work each of you have done to help keep Ripon the community it is. So I just appreciate that, and I wanted to thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Well, I'm not gonna wait for my turn. I've got to say it now.
Okay.
Because I think I can speak for the five of us. We feel exactly the same way about you and what you've done for this town.
Chief, like I told you, I have something for you, but I was going to do it at a council meeting, but I'm going to wait till Friday because I think we'll have a bigger audience and family and other people there, which I want them to hear what I have to say. Anybody else want to jump in on? Chief?
Yeah, I'll just add quickly. It's been a great privilege for me to get to know you, Chief Ormonde. This town has benefited greatly from your leadership of our police department. In terms of character, dedication, and love for one's city, I can't imagine any police chief in America that would exceed the standard that you have set during your tenure at the city of Ripon. I am so grateful for your service to our community. You will be greatly missed. I am grateful for the successor that you have chosen. I think he is also a man of very high character. But you've set an extraordinarily high bar, and this town is immensely grateful for your service. Thank you.
And I would just echo everything that everybody else has already said. It's always hard to go after Gary because he says exactly what everybody wants to say, I think, more eloquently than anybody else could. So, poet laureate, maybe? But no, I mean, not only thank you for your leadership and your guidance and your dedication to the community, but for what you've given, you know, the sacrifices you have made for this town, your family. You will all be missed as a leader, as a chief, as a friend. So we wish you nothing but success and happiness in life. Just want to thank you. You thank us. There's no need for that. All the thanks goes to you. So appreciate everything you've done.
So I'm going to say one thing that I'm going to say again on Friday. Just one minor thing is merely that I have been on a lot of boards and I've had a lot of leaders come and retire. This one really hurt me. I'm happy for you, but it really hurt. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. You think this is bad? Wait till Friday.
Don't say that,
anybody-
he won't show up.
Yes, you will. We'll
Oh.
get sour to get him there. Anybody else want to say anything, or you want to wait?
You're the mayor, just move on.
You know, if I could just
Of
say
course.
something from a staff perspective and, you know, myself and the department heads and really everyone here at City Hall has had the absolute pleasure of working with you. Ed and I both got appointed to our positions just about the same time. I think he was a little before me. And I don't think I could have done this job without you, Ed. I've appreciated your friendship over the years. I appreciate everything about you professionally, what you've done for this community. You have worried about the small details in this community, every little detail. From the minute you wake up to the minute you go to sleep, and you probably dream about it as well. But I have appreciated that as, you know, obviously the city administrator, as someone who was born and raised here, and his family here. You have had a significant contribution to this community. And really, again, just to tell you, it's been an absolute joy working with you over the years. I'm going to miss you.
Okay. Kim, do you want to say anything? No? Okay. No, Kai doesn't have anything. Ken? Kai said he
Just
didn't have anything.
my normal, we do not have a planning commission meeting on Monday because Chief won't be able to attend it, so I canceled it, especially for him.
He can call in.
But Chief, I want to echo everyone's comments. You know, our everybody's family here in this town, I think, is very grateful for the job you do and the safety you provide this community. It's apparently evident in this town, in the quality of this town, and like Kevin said, it's the small little things that are done each and every day that keep a community as safe as this, as nice as this community, and you certainly didn't let any of those fall through the cracks. So really appreciate it.
James, anything?
Real quick, I'll go over our water usage for August. We were 17% below our 2013 numbers. We were 4% over last year's numbers. And then one other thing, our large item pickup is ending this month, so we've got a couple more weeks to get that in. And then just, yeah, echoing everyone else. Chief, obviously our department, Public Works, has worked with you guys hand in hand over various issues throughout the years. It's never a battle. You know, it's always something that we're working together toward or on to make sure we're doing what's best for the community. And obviously your leadership is trickled down to everyone that we're working with as far as the officers and lieutenants go. And yeah, just appreciate everything that you've done for us and our department over the years.
Okay. Kevin, anything else? No? Good? Yeah. I was going to get to him. Go ahead, Tom. I was going to get to you, but go ahead. Thanks, Tom. Dean, you there? Yeah. Well, I heard they're blocking the, freeway so you can't get there, so you might as well just stick around. I mean, I heard.
I don't think you're stopping them.
Okay. Gary, anything else? No?
Of course I have
Oh,
something
yeah,
else
of
to say.
course.
Thank you to everybody who was here this evening for your comments. Kelly, thanks for being here. You gotta say more though. Okay, okay. All right, that's it. Thank you all.
Vice Mayor Zuber?
I have nothing.
And I have nothing. Anything else from anybody else? We all good? Meeting adjourned. I know.
We'd have been out of here.